Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so you can get all my future uploads and more. This video is kind of hard to talk about, but with these being my first couple videos, I just want to kind of get this one out the way. So there is no, I guess, fairy tale or exaggerated storyline or misconception of what happened, how it happened, when it happened, where, whatever. So today I'm gonna tell you the story time of how I lost my fingers. Yeah, I am a post-op amputee. I am now 1 month out. I still struggle with pain. My nerve ends are growing back, so everything is very sensitive to my hand. I can't pick up much. Can't really do a lot of work around the house, things of that nature. At this point in time, I barely can really go out for long periods of time without being in pain and, you know, having to take pain meds and stuff like that. But yeah, we gonna get into this video. So without further ado, let's go. Okay guys, so yeah, July 10th of this year, I was chopping down tree branches in my mother-in-law's house in her backyard. Just, regular yard work. But I can't say this was something that I probably shouldn't have been doing. I should have left it up to the professionals. But me being me and having a He-Man attitude and, oh, I can do anything they do, I'm not finna let my mom-in-law pay for something that she has a son-in-law for. Typical man stuff. I tried it on my own. Things were going fairly good. My wife was out there helping me collect the branches and, rake leaves, things of that nature. My stepson. It was working for a while. The smaller branches were coming off, no problem. And everything was going good until we got to this branch that was really high in the trees. I swung the rope on it. I roped the branch. It was on there very tight. The branch basically ripped the rope right off. And in the midst of all that, my hand, which was in a glove at the time, got caught up in the rope as I was trying to tie it. So as the branch swung back, the rope tightened around my hand and basically dislocated 3 of my fingers from my hand. So I'm not gonna lie, at this point I knew my fingers was either in my glove because they were off or they was broken, because I could feel that they were not on my hand no more. Like, maybe physically they were, but internally they were not on my hand anymore. I already knew that. All of my fingers inside of the glove were twisted up, every single one of them. It looked like some, I don't know if in a cartoon, if you seen a person twist all their fingers up like this. My hand literally looked like somebody just twisted up all my fingers into one. I was yelling like, something didn't go right. My hand. She's yelling hysterically. Luckily, my stepson didn't really catch a glimpse of how bad it was, because I tried to just hurry up and get out of his sight, because I didn't want him to see, you know, how bad it was. And I stayed calm through the whole process. I never cried. I never, got overly excited or adrenaline raged or anything. I was real calm through the whole situation. My wife was crying, and yeah, I just tried my best to keep her calm, and luckily the hospital was literally a few streets down from where mom lives. So we got to the hospital. This is where it went kind of left. So when we got to the hospital, I'm literally walking in there with a glove that's leaking blood all over the floor. I can't untwist my fingers at this point. I don't know if they like in the glove, and when I take the glove out, my hand is not gonna have no fingers on it or what at this point.
Like, I'm literally freaking out in my head, but I know if I overreact, I might faint or anything because I'm losing blood. It's leaking everywhere. So I just try to stay calm as possible.
And when I got there, they kind of treated me, I would say, normal. They didn't take it as severely as it was. Like, they checked me in as if I was just a normal patient. Like, they didn't take it as seriously as they should have taken it. It took at least a good 15-20 minutes to get back in the room. They wanted to take my blood pressure and stuff. Like, this is a serious issue. Like, my fingers are literally about to fall off if they haven't already. I don't even know. I still have the glove on at this point. So once I got back there, I took the glove off on my own. It did hurt, but at this point, I seen my fingers were still on my hand, but literally ripped and hanging. Like, ripped and hanging off of my hand. My wife got even more scared and crying, and it was just a big, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah. The nurse came in. Everybody around me at this point is freaking out, like, in shock. Like, just, I had like at least 13 people ask me the same questions over and over. All in the midst of this, my hand is turning blue, almost purple at this point. My fingers are dying. So right away in my head, I came to terms that, okay, they've waited too late. It's a good chance they're gonna tell me that they gotta cut my fingers off. So I had my wedding band on my hand. My wedding ring finger was severed. My pinky finger was severed. My middle finger was broken in like 2-3 different places. One of the nurses tried to cut the ring off. My ring was made of like a special type of metal, so you couldn't cut through it with anything. It doesn't matter what it was. So he couldn't cut through it. I tried to explain to him, I can maybe just take it off. I know how to, work with my own finger and be gentle enough to get it off without doing any further damage. Even though I know it's pretty much at this point, it doesn't matter what damage I do to it, it's coming off anyway. So, after about 10 minutes of him trying all these different blades to cut the ring off, it didn't come off. And I just told him, just let me try it. I got the ring off right in the instant. After that, the doctor comes in. He tells me that we're trying to locate a facility for them to do the surgery. We're going to try to save the fingers, but with the time frame being so short, it may be a chance that we need to cut them off. At this point, my wife went to the restroom, so this is me and him having a conversation, which I told you guys earlier. I already knew at this point they probably were not going to be able to save my fingers, okay? So I've already mentally came to terms with this, so I'm cool with it, even through the midst of all of it. I'm a guy who takes a lot lightly. I'm not a person who overreacts or gets super angry about everything. I'm sitting in here making jokes. The doctor literally told me, like, do you really think it's the time right now to be making jokes? And you just so that's just me though, but yeah, overall it was a horrifying experience. Like, I still have nightmares about it and stuff, but I don't let it affect me. But yeah, basically they asked me when she came back in to tell her my decision. I told her that I decided I'm gonna let them take them off. Basically the options were they could try to save them, but in the long run, I wasn't going to be able to use them anyway. The nerves were going to just get weaker and weaker, and my hand is eventually just going to be numb and hurting for the rest of my life, like, pretty much. So, with them cutting the fingers off to a certain point in my hand where my nerve endings will grow back, the strength would still remain there, and my other fingers would still have, motility and mobility. I'm sorry, it's another word. Mobility, and I would still eventually be able to do some things. That was enough for me to make my decision. So, I explained to her, I know you not really 100% with this, but at this point, this is what I feel I should do. And she cried. It was real emotional for the both of us. But I've always been a strong individual, so she said, I know you know what you're doing. So that night, I went right into surgery after that. Maybe an hour later, not even. Woke up a few hours later, and I had a huge cast on my hand. And yeah, man, they were going. So, yeah, it kind of freaked me out because I only stayed in the hospital for like a day after that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I stayed one night and one day. So I, when I came home and certain things in my cast, it still felt like my fingers were there. And it kind of freaked me out because I'm like, I know they're not there at this point. So why am I still feeling like my fingers are there? You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird. But you know, my physical therapist had explained to me that that's just your nerves in your hand. Um, at this point, they're very sensitive because anything that can be penetrated towards them, anything that you walk past, you brush up against, is gonna feel it and it's gonna react to it tremendously. So basically, the nerves were jumping in my hand, and that's what it was. It wasn't my fingers was there. So I was okay with that. Um, so I know this is probably the moment everybody been watching this video for. So just gonna show you. This is what my hand looks like. As you can see, I have my pointer, my middle, my thumb, my ring finger, and my pinky finger are gone. So it's not clickbait, you know, it's not just a fake story. My fingers are actually gone. Uh, it looks way better than it did at first. It was really bulky and black and a big scab and stuff on it, and I had to wear a splint for a few months. Well, not a few months. I still wear it now, but I'm only a month out of surgery, so um, I can't move my fingers. This finger was broken. That's why you can see where they did the surgery at. If you see these little things here, these are like my nerves that are growing back in my fingers. Um, I had a bunch of stitches. Like the doctor couldn't even tell me how many stitches I had because it was so many. Um, yeah, at this point, I mean, I can move my fingers and things like that. I can't do this. I can't ball my fist up. That will come with more physical therapy. It's about far as I can get at this point. But you know, I don't regret anything. You know, I lost them doing a good deed for my mother-in-law. I don't fault anybody for anything. Not even myself. You know, but just let this be a lesson to everybody. Just be cautious of what you do. Be mindful of what you do. You know, measure twice, cut once, in a metaphorical sense. Just think before you do something because you never know the outcome of anything you do. And I have to live with this now, like for the rest of my life. So I know I'm gonna do okay, you know. And yeah, man. Till the next video, I'm out.